Ah.
What's up, Rubric family? How's everybody doing today? Friday night. Hope the ones that are going out, going to the movie theater, the ones that are enjoying with your families, significant others. Hope that all of you are safe, and hopefully all of you enjoy the Friday evening. Ryan and I this time we are going to be reviewing Smackdown Live. You guys are probably thinking, how are these guys reviewing Smackdown Live when it's actually taking place in the Fox? Well, we're doing a little bit of cheating. Should we call cheating, Ryan?
To me, it's not just because this is more of like a glorified house show since it already took place.
Yes, so it's like a SmackDown Live without being really live.
Yeah.
So the show took place in Manchester, England. So we have the results. We're going to go over it just mainly because we went backwards. You know, from the phenomenal show that we had last week, a show that got us engaged, invested, show that we didn't even know it was going to be that good. We happened to go backwards. You know, one more show to actually destroy, erase, cover all the good that SmackDown did last week. So Ryan and I decided, you know what? Let's cheat a little bit. The show was absolutely bad. We went back to more of the same.
Yep.
So we're going to be reviewing all of that. Before we start our conversation, our discussion about the whole show, we want to say hi to Miguel once again. We want to say hi to Maurice. We want to say hi to a good friend of ours, Ashley. She watches the show. She's a good friend, and she also is supporting this initiative that we have. So we want to say hi to them. We want to say hi to my friend Fernando. He's on his way to. He's going to be traveling to Australia. He's going to be going for a PhD. So I want to say, bro, best of luck, and I want you to know that all the best wishes for you. So I have the goat right here, Ryan and I. Don't forget to check his video, Monday Night Raw. We have Jean Paul Egg with AEW Dynamite, Jean Paul Egg and myself covering NXT. And Ryan, we're going to go through everything that took place on SmackDown Live. The show opens up with Pyro, which is kind of nice. I mean,
I enjoy it. I enjoy the Pyro just because it brings me back to the older days of SmackDown and Raw.
Exactly, and I feel that it gives us those memories, and also it makes you think that Fox has enough budget to give to WWE. So hey guys, here's a little bit of money. You know what? Put some Pyro for the show.
Yeah.
King Corbin opens SmackDown, and of course, massive heat because I'm sorry, Baron Corbin is to me is stale. He's not a true heel. I don't enjoy him. What about you, Ryan?
For me, they ruined this guy all the way dating back to the failed cash-in for the Money in the Bank.
Absolutely.
To me, that's when Baron Corbin himself was ruined. And to me, I would state, and I know we've all stated this, we have a video on it, if you're not going to have the King of the Ring fighting for the championship after you win the King of the Ring tournament, then don't have the tournament at all.
Yeah, and we still don't know what the winner of the tournament was gonna get.
Yeah.
So we stated this in the early stages of our videos. We did say if you're gonna have the King of the Ring tournament, give them a reason to fight. And for example, wouldn't you agree that the AEW at least does that situation right? Because you can see what the Dark Order and the Private Party did. Because they added that stipulation, you add something, you give them a reason to fight for.
That tag team tournament was beautiful.
Exactly, but why, Ryan? Right? Because you gave a prize, you gave them a reason to fight, you gave them a reason to be outstanding, you gave them a reason to actually improve themselves. For example, why do you and me play that freaking game that we have videos that state how bad it is, but we fight for what?
We always fight for gold.
I will always say we have a friend that he said, why do we always have to fight for titles? And I remember Ryan saying, we love gold. We will always fight for gold. Right there. Right there's the goal. Yep, right there.
Always.
So this guy, I don't really like him anymore. I mean, to me, you said it the best, Ryan. This guy has two moves. He has Div 6 and End of Days. And that's all it is for me. Because if they will portray him a little better, he's a decent wrestler. He's had decent matches with people. But the way that he portrayed his character, especially with the Kurt Angle thing, to me, the King of the Ring, I agree with you. But ever since he retired Kurt Angle, to me, that was a bad move from WWE. So that's when he died for me.
They screwed up huge there, especially with a legend like Kurt Angle. If you're going to go out, you have to have Kurt Angle fighting somebody a lot more prestigious than Baron Corbin. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly. To me, it should have been John Cena. It should have been any rival that had good chemistry with him. Mysterio would have been good.
That or like a connection
with his past. With his past, yeah. Samoa Joe would have been fine.
Yeah,
he would have been. Brock Lesnar would have been great. Of course, they're a little past their times. They're not at their prime, but it would have been a lot more better and interesting than Kurt Angle against Baron Corbin at that time, or King Corbin. He opens the show. He calls out Roman Reigns. He says he's gonna beat him. He has more testicles than him, and Reigns, he's gonna be destroyed today. That was the first segment. To me, right there, the show is completely over for us. Right there.
Me, I would have been turning it off. I'm not a fan of opening up the show like that. Okay? And this is the way they always, it's formulaic. They always start the show like this. It's like a bullshit way to start the show. And I guess that's supposed to build up for the main event, which to me, I'm not excited for a Roman Reigns versus King Corbin match. I don't know who the hell would be.
Exactly. And also, Ryan, why do they, instead of building, from everything that happened last week on SmackDown, why don't you just start from there? Mm-hmm. Just grab it from there. You go back to what you were going to put on TV the week before. Why don't you go back to Roman Reigns and Baron Corbin when everybody's telling you, we don't want to see this? Thank God we didn't get this, but no, you got to give it to us the week after. Why?
To me, and this is only my opinion, and I feel bad for the people in the UK, I think that's why they did it, because they knew they weren't going to get a lot of viewers because it was going to be taped.
Yeah.
So to me, in my opinion, they knew that they weren't going to get a lot of viewers tonight because it was going to be a taped show. So they just put on a bullshit show. They were totally uncreative with the entire card. You can see that. And they just said, you know what? Here you go. Sorry, man.
Let's just give the show that we were going to give them originally. Just put the script from that show, and here it is. Here it is. And we have the biggest spoiler of the night. We have new SmackDown Tag Team Champions. The New Day beat the Revival in their championship match. And this is why WWE can go 2 steps ahead, but 9 steps backwards. Or 2 steps forward, but 9 backwards. Why would you do this thing? The New Day, their characters are stale. Xavier is out. Why would you not go with the Revival, knowing that the tag team match at Survivor Series would have been the best match of the show?
Yeah.
So we're giving you the spoiler right there. Ryan, myself, Rob Rigg is giving you the spoiler alert right there for you. The new SmackDown Tag Team Champions is the New Day. They have their match, and they beat the Revival. Why will they do that, Ryan?
They want them to have the most reigns as a tag team. I know that in the end. I don't know why, because to me, these guys severely need a heel change. They need to change their whole gimmick and to be heel, kind of like Bayley.
It is. I understand that, but why would you go back? Why would you put goal in them? Shouldn't it be better with no goal?
For me, it right now it is. I hate that they put the belts on them. I would have been okay if they did a total heel change and then they put the belts on them. Because the characters would have been different.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, I hate that they put the belts on them again because their characters are so stale right now. I don't know who the hell is into them except little kids.
And not even little kids. Not even Trent. I will say that.
No, he's into them.
Oh God!
He loves.
It's one friend that Ryan has. He loves the New Day, and we're just wondering why does he love? Why he still loves them when they're so stale? It's like 4 years of the same stick.
So I
Change
do I.
that.
He's right across the street. The little kid. I know him. He loves the New Day. Kid next door to me loves the New Day. So I've been doing my research. It seems that children still love the New Day. Um, so I think that's why they're still targeting children at this time when they should be going after a different demographic, with the audience like us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now I think that's the way we see it. Maybe they don't see it that way. Um, but to me, you know, if the new day would switch up their entire gimmick, stop doing the Big E's shaking his fucking hips and bullshit like that, and the unicorn stuff and the bootios and the pancakes and all that crap,
Let's go back to Francesca, right?
right? And they do heel stuff. Just the trombone thing was awesome. I thought when Xavier was doing the trombone thing and just pissing people off by blowing that while they're beating the shit out of people in the corner. That's how they got over, and that's how they became baby faces. If they went back to that and just started being heel again, I'm okay with that. But you're not doing that because they think the New Day is kind of like the Seth Rollins / Roman Reigns of the tag team division.
Yeah, eight reigns already.
Yeah.
But I will always quote what you always said. The fact that you had 8 reigns, it means that you lost the championships 8 times. So, get the one thing I don't understand, and I would like to find some sense in this, is why they hate the revival so much.
To me, now again, I'm assuming this is Vince McMahon. Um, the revival is a very kind of plain team. They don't have
Old
a
school,
lot,
very old school.
right? Very old school. They don't have a lot of, I want to say, charisma per se. But they're very good in the ring.
Character development. They're just the two guys, and they talk in the ring.
Right?
Their stick is being good wrestlers.
Right. So I mean, when they want to cut a promo, they can. But to me, they're more, when it comes down to it, they're going to show you what they can do in the ring. It's not going to be on the mic. Where Vince McMahon wants to see everything done promo wise. He doesn't care what's done in the ring. So to me, that's why he's not a fan of the revival.
Probably, but that the match that they were going to have with the Undisputed Era and the War Raiders, it was going to be absolutely outstanding.
It was.
It was a candidate to be like the best match of the night. And to put New Day in that is like, come on, man. It's like, give other people a chance.
This is what I'll say. I don't think it's necessarily going to change the match per se, simply because I know the New Day can still bring it. But to me, what pisses me off is that you took the titles off the Revival, a team that can still do just as much in the ring, okay? And you're putting the spotlight back on a team that has had their day in the sun, and you're not letting, the Revival shine where they could shine.
And if you're going to do that, put it on somebody else. Give the spotlight to somebody else. Like you said, they had their day in the sun. You don't need any more of that.
To me, what they should have done is they should have put it on Heavy Machinery. That would have been a nice one, because then you would have had 3 teams that have chemistry already together because of NXT.
Yes. And it would have been like a more NXT based in the tag teams, because all of them know each other from before. And Otis is so over. The guy takes his shirt off, he shows the boobs, he's shaking his belly, he's shaking the beer gut and the caterpillar. Everybody thinks about the worm. When they see the caterpillar, you're thinking Scotty 2 Hotty. Yeah. And how Too Cool was so over, despite the fact that they were not the best wrestlers in the world, despite the fact they were not the best tag team in the world. But because of Scotty 2 Hotty and Grandmaster Sexy, they were actually good.
Yeah.
And of course, they putting Rikishi along with them made it better. But anyway, The New Day becomes the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions. After the match, Imperiums, Walter, Fabian Adler, Marcel Berthel, and Alexander Wolf attack and the New Day. They start beating them up, so they continue this NXT invasion, but now is the NXT UK is involved. Until Heavy Machinery made the save. So they got a whole brawl right there going on. Heavy Machinery and the New Day. They're still friends. But I think the one thing that I will say the positive, the little thing, is how Heavy Machinery was involved in this, and they involved the NXT UK on this.
Well, to me, okay, what bothers me is we've seen every show now where they're doing these brawls and everything, okay, and you still have a whole week of build, and we're still going to see a ton of brawls where you're still having NXT, Raw, going back and forth, NXT and SmackDown, and all, like, the locker rooms are clearing, and I don't need to see that. You know, it's okay to do it every now and then, okay, but you don't need to continue to do it every single show. So the fact that they keep doing that, it's kind of bothering me. I don't think it's bolstering anything for Survivor Series per se. But, you know, for me, it just pissed me off that New Day won the tag titles. I would have much rather seen, have, an NXT tag team take on a SmackDown tag team and just have an NXT tag team go over.
Yeah.
And then you have NXT being superior.
Or for example, if you want to add the NXT UK, right? Put them in the middle of in the match. Put them like when let's say the New Day is about to win the goal, and then the NXT the Walter comes out, and then the match ends up in the no DQ.
Yeah.
Yeah, that way you don't have to go against the Revival and take the titles off them just for no reason.
Yeah.
For example, like, okay, I see the NXT is a full invasion right now because at least you have Walter, you have the NXT UK involved in this agenda, which is pretty interesting. I do think that is pretty interesting. But like you said, I feel that brawl after brawl after brawl after brawl, the idea is getting a little bit stale. So they should find a different ways to keep finding intrigue, like NXT did. I love how Finn Balor went and answered actually to AJ Styles, Adam Cole. He went and answered both of them. You don't know what side is he picking on.
Yeah.
So, well, what do you think, Walter? Walter is a good wrestler. We saw them and take over. I think that if he could like be inserted in the Survivor Series card, it will be nice.
I would like that. I would like to see it. Instead of doing a triple threat, you could do a fatal 4-way.
Yeah, you can do a fatal 4-way. Yeah, like NXT UK. You can do for North American IC champion and the US champion. Yeah, you can do a fatal 4-way. That would be nice. And every champion is a showcase. Every champion has a chance to say, hey, my brand is superior.
So I would like to see it. And then you can at least say NXT is a legit brand then. Instead of, I hate that they always ignore it, as though it's not a brand. And now at least they're bringing it to the table as though it's a legit brand.
It is. And that's the one thing that I will say because of the Triple H finally getting some kind of control in this, Shawn Michaels. They say, oh, no, we are a brand. We're coming for you guys. We are a legit brand. It reminds me a little bit of like the attitude that ECW used to have back in the day. That you guys don't even consider us like we're a company, we're a brand, but we are. So that's the one thing that I will say. Like you can see glimpses. Like the whole show, this one I will say was terrible, but Raw had a little bit of glimpses. You could say that. You could say that like, well, NXT was a lot better show, but SmackDown actually didn't do as good as the other show. So that's the one thing because they focus more on their roster rather than to put more emphasis in the whole storyline that they're trying to build.
Mm-hmm.
So we go ahead with the show. Cesaro and WWE IC champion Shinsuke Nakamura defeated Mustafa Ali and Shorty G. Sami Zayn is still trying to get Daniel Bryan to join the Nakamura's team. Bryan just watched the match from the stage despite Zayn invited him to watch from the ringside. And when it comes to this thing, I want to tell you something that I heard from my sources. Daniel Bryan might become the IC champion, and he will be inserted in the match that they will be IC champion, US champion, and maybe North American champion because they don't want Nakamura to be the IC champion for the match. There's reports that they've been saying that he's going to have a match. Daniel Bryan will be involved. That will be his role in Survivor Series. What are your thoughts about that?
I think it would be good because I love Daniel Bryan and he'll definitely bring out the best in everybody. But then I feel bad for Nakamura because that man has not done jack shit on the main roster. They have never used him to his full potential on the main roster. The only legit time I saw him was in NXT. If anybody should be going back to NXT, it's Nakamura.
They should take him back. Probably his English is a lot better. He can cut better promos. And yeah, he could be a person that could use a lot of time on NXT.
Yeah. So to me, if you're going to do that, I'd like to see Nakamura back there. And I could definitely see them doing that simply because, first of all, his title run with the IC belt has been, what?
It's nothing.
Lackluster is maybe a really kind word to say.
Lackluster, boring. Like we don't even acknowledge. Like it's because, like you said many times, is they don't give the prestige of that championship. They don't acknowledge that championship as being prestigious.
Nope.
And that's the one thing that they should be doing, and acknowledging your champions as legit champions.
Yep.
People that stand out. It's like Shinsuke Nakamura stands out so much that he carries this goal that is the IC championship. And no, he just wears it like a element of his gear.
Well, that's the thing. To me, when you're the IC champion, you're supposed to be defending the belt at every pay-per-view. You're supposed
Everywhere.
to be, defending it on SmackDown every. It doesn't have to be every freaking SmackDown, but every now and then you defend the belt, you retain it, you win. And as a heel, you don't have to win in a bullshit way all the time. I hate that WWE books them that way, that, as a heel, you have to win in a bullshit tactic. Where you look at AEW, look at, it was Pac.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't win. He's a heel. He didn't win in a bullshit way, this past week. He hit the Black Arrow, and then he put in the submission hold. He won. The brutalizer. He won in a legit fashion. I like when you're a dominant heel.
Well, for example, like if you have to use those kind of heelish tactics, it depends on your opponent. But you're right. If your opponent is not worth it enough, you should be able to win easy. Correct?
Right?
Yeah, you should be able to hit Kinshasa. Like his moveset is pretty decent. Nakamura's moveset is really decent. So why wouldn't you be able to go to, like, let's say, a Miz? Like the people that, like, you don't need a heelish tactic to win. Ali, I know the match will be really nice, but you don't need Sami Zayn all the time.
Yeah.
So you're saying that Nakamura is like just a average wrestler, when he's not. And you make Kinshasa look like really a really weak move. So I really don't appreciate that. The fact that at least Cesaro Nakamura won this match against Ali and Shorty G. Well, Shorty G, Chad Gable deserves so much better. He's a great wrestler. But the only reason that he has TV time is because he agreed to go by one Vince McMahon told him.
Yeah.
So, Mustafa Ali should have a better present, and he doesn't. Mustafa Ali is just lost in the shuffle. Same thing with Buddy Murphy. Same thing with Cedric Alexander. These guys that can put on a 5-star classic anywhere in the world against anybody. But of course, WWE doesn't get the juice out of them.
No,
doesn't get everything that they could get from them.
Matches on Raw.
6-minute matches, yeah, and the jobber's entrance. They didn't even have a legit entrance. How am I supposed to believe that Buddy Murphy and Cedric Alexander are legit when I don't even see their theme song? Or I don't even see them coming out. I'm like, why are these guys here? If you're watching Monday Night Raw and you just see these two guys, who are they? That's the first thing.
Right.
Made them look for, that's Alexa Bliss's ex. That's what Buddy Murphy is. Cedric Alexander. Oh, yeah, he feuded with AJ Styles, but you don't know how good he is. You
Yeah,
don't. Probably many people don't even know that he was cruiserweight champion at some point. He held it for a good like 6 or 7 months. So that's the reason. In these little things is when Triple H, whatever, like whenever Triple H is able to get control of this, if he ever does, he should be able to tweak these things. Because like the fact that they were able to show us a nice Smackdown is no surprise. It's just he was given a lot of the direction where the show was going. He was
I want
given
to
the
say he had.
opportunity,
Yeah, I want to say he had a lot of, you know,
input.
creativity to, and a lot of his input was in that show.
And you could see, it only took what? 2 hours to make us like, okay, SmackDown is cool. 2 hours, one show. That's how like that show should have been show number one on Fox.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of show. That was the show that you should have put in your first episode on a different network. Should have been like that. But
Yeah.
of course, you got to give this crappy creative team scripted promos. The wrestlers don't even have their own persona there, don't even have their own personality. And that's why we got right now. You're gonna go from 2 million to probably another 800,000.
I would agree.
I would agree. And of course, you know what they're gonna say though. You know what they're gonna say. Oh, it's because it was state.
Yeah.
It was
No,
because it was state.
they always come up with excuses.
Yeah, that was what they're gonna come out with the excuse. So this match, once again, it doesn't do anything for Cesaro. It doesn't do anything for Nakamura. But I'm already spoiling it for you guys, for the family, that like there's a big chance that Daniel Bryan might be the IC champion going into the Survivor Series. So let's see.
I wouldn't
That would be bad for Nakamura because, like you, I'm a big fan of Shinsuke. But you remember this? We told him you deserve better. What did he say? I know. And perfect English. I know. So anyway, moving along, Sasha Banks is finally recovered from her injury. So she actually had a match. She defeated Nikki Cross, and Bayley was on commentary. The match was really decent, but of course, Bayley helped out Sasha Banks to go over Nikki Cross.
Yep.
After the match, Shayna Baszler came back and she appeared, and then she were kind of they were brawling with Bayley once again, and that was the big pop. To me, that's a little bit of no creativity. Why you have to do the same thing all over again?
For me, I think, and what I mentioned in the Raw review,
which is in the channel, by the way, so please go watch it.
My thing was, one of the better parts of Raw was when Becky Lynch and her Shayna Baszler had the sit-down interview, and they went back and forth. But one of the things they did not mention was, like, Shayna said, "I'm coming after you, and I'm going to pin you, or I'm going to make you submit."
Well, like they said it the way that you hate. I'm gonna make you tap. I'm gonna tap you out.
I'm gonna tap you out. No, that's not how you say it. You don't fucking say it that way. You say, "I'm going to make you submit, or I'm going to make you tap out."
Okay? No, I'm not gonna tap you out. Yes.
Okay. But of course, WWE doesn't know how to grammatically say things correct. So
that's the beginning of everything right there, my friend. They don't even know how to do that, right? What do you think about this whole storylines then? But anyway, they had a stare down.
But to me, my big thing was they weren't acknowledging Bayley as a real threat. They were just saying they're gonna go after like each other, and they were like, I remember Shayna saying like, I'll keep my eye on Bayley, but I'm gonna go after you, and I'm gonna make you. Submit.
You know what they should do in that situation, Ryan? You know what they should do? Make Bayley win.
I said that. I said that in the review. I said, listen, to me, the dark horse in that match is Bayley. She should be the one to win. Baszler should not take a pin. It should be Becky, and it should be in like a bullshit fashion, like
a small package. Small package.
And that's how it should go down. Because to me, nobody's probably picking Bayley, and Bayley should win in a bullshit way like that. It would be great. And to me, I'm okay. I think it is, yes, uncreative that they're doing the same thing that they kind of did the previous week. But to me, at least they're continuing with Shayna coming out and she's still tormenting Bailey.
Which is good. I will say that. I agree with you. I think that was, to me, is a little bit of the same, but at least you get the pop also because you're exposing Shayna to the UK audience because they probably don't tour NXT. I don't think they go to Europe yet.
I don't.
I don't think they do that because they have the NXT UK. So there's no reason for them to be there. So that was nice. Yeah. It's exposure for the UK audience that we want to say hi to them, for the ones that I watched to our show. So I want to say it's nice. It's nice, but it's more the same. But I agree with you. I think Bailey should be the one winning because it's really crappy how they make her look like she's a nobody.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm coming after you. Yeah. I'll keep an eye on her. What they should have done in this Smackdown is Bailey cut a promo saying to both of them, you know what, you guys think that I suck, that I don't even deserve to be in the same match as both of you? I'm going to be the one beating you up. The new persona needs to be like that.
Well, I would like to see that out of her because of her heel character now. She needs to be a little bit more, I want to say like a dominant, don't think I'm bullshit. She needs to be able to say that,
That's what I mean. Don't just see me like as a nobody.
So
I know what I can bring. I'm the SmackDown Women's Champion.
So
and that's why you make your title even look more relevant. It's no. You don't talk to me like that.
But I think what they're trying to do right now is Bailey is sort of the heel that is, if she's going to win, it's going to be in a very kind of bullshitish way, where Shayna's the dominant heel and Becky's the babyface. So I'm hoping Bailey does come away with the win because that would be phenomenal for her. It wouldn't do anything to Becky or Shayna. And to me, other people on the NXT brand deserve wins much more than Shayna right now.
That's true. So moving along, we have this. This is even what I don't even know what are we talking about this. I will say Dana Brooke is such a really nice person. She's really pretty, I will say, to see in person. But Carmella and Dana Brooke defeated Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville to earn spot on the Women's Survivor Series team.
Okay. Now, I'm sorry, but first of all, there shouldn't be a Women's Survivor Series match. I'm sorry, okay, but okay. The champion, Becky Lynch, is not going to be a part of the match. Right there, I'm not going to be into the match. Okay? You're going to have a bunch of women in here who don't even fucking matter. That's the only reason this match is going on.
Because you need to feature everybody on your car. Yeah. You need to have every single wrestler on your roster featuring in the pay-per-view just because they need the paycheck, and you need to entice the wrestlers to say, hey, you're going to be in the pay-per-view.
So to me, this is ridiculous. Okay, Carmella and Dana win over a tag team that has been a tag team now in their women's division.
Forever. Okay.
So to me, that's already even more bullshit.
It's terrible. And again, what do you do? What they should do with like the Fire and Desire? They should be feuding with the Kabuki Warriors for the championships. Don't you think? Have many feuds. For example, have a feud on SmackDown. Have a feud on Raw. I'm sorry. Have a feud on NXT.
To me,
you're the champion. You should be feuding with everybody.
I've told you this before. I'm sorry, but they should not have women's tag team championships. They don't have enough women to have the tag team championships, and they don't know how to book their men's tag team division, so why would you have a women's tag team division?
Yeah. Well, in that one, I have to give it to you because those championships, they go one, they get a glimpse of, I want to say importance, but then once again, lost in the shop.
To me, it's not even importance. It's almost like a glimpse of hope.
Yes.
And then nothing.
and then you get beat down like three more. Yeah, you get beat down three feet under. So it's terrible. And again, the fact that like they're going to do those matches to me is going to take a lot of the legitimacy of the pay per view. You don't need, and for example, you know this. If they will have a Raw against SmackDown against NXT, you should have the champions as the captains, right?
I would like that. To me, if you're
That's
going to do
additional
that,
5 on 5 on 5.
it would I would be a lot better with that. But you already have the champions in a triple threat match, so I'm already taken out of this, and there's no reason to have a women's match with all these women that, to me, nobody cares about.
Exactly.
It's gonna take the energy out of the crowd.
Especially coming from a Saturday that you're already going to see women in a team in War Games.
Yeah.
So I mean, WWE booked themselves in corners, and you've said this many times. We've stated this throughout the whole time that we had the show going on. They book themselves in corners that they are not allowed to come out, and they should stop doing that because you're giving me a multi-women match at War Games, and on Sunday I got to see that again. Am I supposed to compare the both? Am I supposed to think that the War Games is going to be better? Of course, it's going to be better. But if you give me the one thing first, War Games is going to be great, then of course I'm going to not even care for what's going to happen at Survivor Series.
That's the thing.
Yeah. So, moving along, we're not going to talk about this at all. King Corbin defeated Roman Reigns with the help of Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler in the main event. We've seen this match plenty of times. I think that like they're trying to make King Corbin, Robert Roode, Bobby Roode, and Ziggler as a faction, or at least they're still kind of like together. The fact that Roman Reigns loses, I mean, to me, it doesn't bring me any interest. Whether he wins, whether he loses, I don't really care. At least the guy's staying away from the championship. That's what they should do, so people forget of the whole bad booking that he's been having for the past 4 years.
Yeah, and at
least he's losing.
I'm glad that he's staying away. They're still booking him in a way where he's not losing, clean. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're still booking him to lose strong. But what bothers me even more about this is Baron Corbin always seems to be in these like makeshift factions, and I don't understand that.
Yeah.
He was with Bobby Lashley, and it was Drew McIntyre and Ziggler, and then, Strowman was along for the ride in that part, and then now you have him back here again with, Ziggler again, and then, Bobby Roode, and what's going on? Nobody gives a shit about this. To me, if you want to have Reigns and Corbin feud, fine. Nobody's going to care about it, but bringing Ziggler and Roode into it is going to make people not care about it even more.
And I'm sorry, Ryan, but I agree with you. I think your ideas are absolutely correct in the right path. But why do you bring guys from Raw?
Again?
What happened with Brandon?
Actually, I think Ziggler and Roode were drafted to SmackDown.
Were they drafted?
I believe they were drafted.
Wow, if they did that, well, still, but like you're right. Going back to that, if that's my mistake, maybe I didn't check everything. But once again, why will they have this kind of factions? Roode and Dolph Ziggler, they have the tag team championships for a hot second.
Yeah.
When they should hold the championships for a lot longer, knowing that, for example, Ziggler and Bobby Roode are good with tag teams. At least for me, if you're going to create a good heel tag team, that was right there. Ziggler and McIntyre was pretty credible and good.
If you wanted to make them a legit team, then you needed to keep the belts on them. But
and you could have, correct? You had everything.
But WWE doesn't see that as making them a legit team. They don't see the length of a title run being legitimate. They see how many times you hold a title being legitimate, which is why the championships all look shitty.
Yeah, and there's no like long reigns. The last long reign that I've seen is Shayna Baszler, I will say Asuka, and then CM Punk.
Yeah.
And then CM Punk, despite everybody that don't like CM Punk. But we're gonna go again. This match didn't even make sense. We don't know Roman Reigns' role. the Survivor Series, but it seems to me that like he's gonna be leading like a bunch of guys for SmackDown against Raw, and a bunch of guys of NXT.
What's gonna happen, I think, with Survivor Series, from what it looks like, because I keep seeing what's going on Raw, because I saw on Raw with what was it? I don't even remember the damn match. It was because I remember it was McIntyre and what the fuck was it? Anyway, it looks like it's going to be Team Hogan versus Team Flair again.
All over again.
Hogan and Flair.
Oh no, but we did call that. We've said that like Flair was going to ask for a rematch. But anyway, guys, to conclude the show, because we want to let you guys enjoy the rest of your evening, and also we have before we talk about this, I just want to say Ryan, myself, John Paul, we're going to be covering everything that is going to happen at Full Gear tomorrow. AEW Full Gear. We're going to have a Facebook Live talking about preview and predictions, and then we're going to have another Facebook Live talking about the aftermath of the pay-per-view. So roll break, we're going to have a lot of content coming for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. So main event, Ryan, hear this. You're going to love this. Tyson Fury teams up with Braun Strowman against the B team. That's your main event. That's what you put to send your crowd happy, and that closes the show. So you go from like hating each other, you go from like, oh, I hate you, you're crap, and now you're friends.
I want to know why Tyson Fury is still there.
Yeah, is this your preparation for your next boxing match?
Right.
Is this how you are? Are you Rocky in Rocky 3? Are you just jobbing? Is Mickey like just covering you up from?
Where's Thunderlips?
Yeah, at least give me Hogan.
Right.
Give me Hogan. Don't give me the B team. And why are you tagging with Strowman?
Who the hell knows, dude? I'm sorry. And again, you have these two guys which are huge, and you go against the B team, which has been jobbing for how many months now?
For 3 or 4 years.
So
every time that Curtis Axel comes out to the ring, Mr. Perfect is probably crying in heaven.
Oh my God, dude. He's rolling around in his grave.
How can you go from being one of the best wrestlers of all time to his son not being able to win a decent championship?
He had the IC title and Heyman was managing him.
Yeah, but that was for 3 seconds.
To me, they severely screwed him over. And I'm sorry, but they mishandle talent. They don't know how to use talent.
I'd rather see Michael McKillicuddy. Yeah, that was his name on NXT.
I know.
Michael McKillicuddy.
Yeah. And Bo Dallas held the NXT championship.
Believe? Believe? You used to believe.
I remember. Look how they screwed him up.
Yeah. Pair him up with his brother. They're freaking siblings. Pair him up. IRS will be happy. For the ones that don't know, IRS's kids is Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas.
Yep. So people probably don't even know who IRS is.
Yeah. Tell IRS's name.
Erwin R. Shyster.
Yes. And his character, he was a tax collector.
Where the hell's he at? I know I have a Funko Pop, but whatever.
We'll show it tomorrow for our predictions and preview for Full Gear. So, guys, this concludes the show. Tyson Fury knocked down Bo Dallas with one punch, and that closed the show. So, guys, once again, the one thing we want to end the show with is SmackDown went backwards. Oh, so we had a legit show. We got a great showing for everybody. People had hope. And I'm sorry, that's the one thing that WWE does the best. Is like they give you one good week of hope. And unfortunately, as human beings as we are,
they take it and they crush it.
We believe in it, and they do what Ryan just showed. They crush it, and they give you more of the same. Yep. And then they wonder why AEW does better when it comes to shows and everything, and even NXT. It's like, look at your own product.
At least we have NXT.
At least we have NXT. So, guys, we want to conclude this review. Hope you guys liked it. Ryan, where people can find us on the social media world?
Well, we have the original OG, right?
OG Road Break on Twitter. We have
Right.
Road Break on Facebook, and the original Road Break is our source for YouTube. You can see all the videos that we have. Monday Night Raw is done by this young man right here. Great review, great summary of the show, all his thoughts. We cover AEW with John Paul Dynamite. We cover Smackdown with me. We cover NXT with me, and we have also our weekly summary of all the shows and news and rumors. And these next 2 weeks are going to be out content because we even have next week. We have 4 games. We have Survivor Series. Professional wrestling never ends, and we both love it. So, guys, once again, I want to say thank you on behalf of Ryan, on behalf of myself. Take care, have a great weekend, and please be watching the show. We're going to have a great time tomorrow. We're going to be playing the game also. Hopefully it doesn't crash. So have a great evening, guys, and don't forget.
Thank you to everybody.
There you go. Roll break never stops.